Forex indicators. In this video, we're going to be talking about what are the best Forex indicators to use. And this advice may shock you because it's probably different than what you're going to hear from other people talking about Forex indicators. The reality is that most Forex indicators are complete BS. They have no ability to predict the future. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about two different indicators. One common indicator, which is probably the only indicator you should ever look at if you're going to look at indicators, and one very uncommon indicator which has a high probability of actually predicting the future. Hey there, my name's Adam Winnig, and we built this whole YouTube channel here at Blue Edge Financial to help make your trading easy, lucrative, and fun. And in this video, we're gonna be talking about the best Forex indicators. And again, I promise you this is different than what's taught to the herd, which you may hear us talk about on the channel, or the uninformed, which is pretty much all retail traders. And what we're gonna be talking about is two different indicators, which are probably the only two indicators that you should ever use if you're gonna actually use indicators, because the sad reality is that indicators are just like a watch. They just show a different way to tell time, but not tell time, but to tell the price. That's all they're doing. They don't really have any predictive power of what's actually going to happen in the future. They just are basically telling you of what's happening right now. And the whole backstory behind these two indicators is I actually got a chance to meet and become friends with and partners with a guy that was a real professional Forex bank trader, a legendary Forex bank trader at that was responsible for managing a ton of money at a real professional Forex desk. And he taught me these couple things that are actually talked about in our book. It's called Edge Trading Secrets, the Unspoken Laws of a Forex Bank Trader. So if you want this more in depth, then go to our website, blueedgefinancial.com/free-book, I believe it is, and you can download a copy for free. So let's get into it. What are actually the two best Forex indicators that you should actually be using? Okay, number one is something that's uncommon. Okay, most people, when they think about Forex indicators, they're thinking about technical indicators, right? There's these two schools of thought, right? There's the technical and then there's the fundamental, which is reading the overall news that's happening in the economy and the broader spectrum, right? Well, what nobody talks about is nobody talks about sentiment analysis. And nobody talks about it for a reason, because this is what the smart money understands that the retail traders don't. And what sentiment analysis is it's simply looking at the overall sentiment of what's happening in the market. For example, in the market, there's always two participants, mainly, right? There's the smart money and there's the herd, which is most retail traders, or people will call it, the smart money will call themselves the informed and the uninformed. And what they understand is that the herd is almost always wrong. If you know the statistics, you'll know that over 95% of people will actually lose their money trading Forex. And so simply thinking, hey, if I can just do the opposite of what the herd's doing, then I should have a pretty good advantage. And if you're thinking that way, you're absolutely right. And I want to show you some statistics to actually back it up. So I'm going to pull up this image right here. This is on my FX book, which obviously you're probably familiar with. There's probably hundreds of thousands of traders that use my FX book, and it'll give you a good overall sentiment of what the retail traders are thinking or what the herd is thinking. So if you look in this, you can look up any currency pair and you can see what is actually going on in the psychology and with the net positions of the retail traders. So for example, to make this simple, this is the Euro US dollar, and you can see that most people are short on Euro US dollar. About 79% of traders trading Euro US dollar at the moment are thinking that the market is going to go down. So they're selling. And what's interesting is that the herd, remember, is almost always wrong. So I was just looking at this today and I pulled up this picture. You can actually find this on my FX book too. I think it's myfxbook.com/community/outlook. And you can pull up a currency pair, which I pulled up Euro US dollar. Again, you can see here in the daily chart, if you look at this big spike in the red positions, this is meaning that the herd is thinking that the market is going to drop. And so they're selling. And look at what happens. The market almost goes exactly against what they think is going to happen. The herd is selling, and the market just goes up. And the problem is because the herd is always trying to catch the tops and the bottoms, and the smart money understands this, and that's why the herd almost always loses money, especially during long trends. So simply using this little community outlook and doing the opposite of what the herd is doing will give you a massive trading edge in the market. And at Blue Edge Financial, our trading systems are built on this. We trade against the crowd almost always with our systems. Okay, and this is one of the philosophies that we built our company upon. Now, if you just study this, you can look at it time and time again, you'll see that this is always the case. So take this for example. I'm gonna bring up this blue histogram right here. And the blue histogram shows the overall sentiment from my FX book, okay? This means the overall feeling of what the retail traders or the herd is doing, if they're buying or they're selling. So you can see in this first purple line here, you can see that retail traders are going net long. They're buying, 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 buying. And what happens actually in the market? The market continues to sell off, sell off, sell off, sell off, sell off, right? And it's interesting because it's almost exact opposite of what the herd is doing. And again, we'll just see it in the second section. We'll see this second big purple line here. We see that price is going up, yet the net long positions is falling, meaning that now the herd is beginning to sell off, sell off, sell off, sell off, and the market continues to go up, 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 up. Isn't that interesting? Now, if you look here, you'll see that in the third line, obviously the market begins to come down. And if you look on the blue histogram, this is where retail traders are, they're continuing to buy, 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 buy. And so you see this time and time again, all throughout the market, that almost always the herd is doing exactly opposite of what happens to the market. So simply just using this little tool can give you a massive advantage and a massive edge in trading, okay? Now, the second indicator is more common, okay? And what I learned from my partner that was a professional Forex bank trader, he said most indicators are complete crap because it's trying to predict the top or the bottom. It's trying to catch the tops and bottoms. And this is what most people in the herd actually try to do. And this is what most indicators are designed to show you. If you think about an RSI or a stochastic, or most of these indicators are trying to tell you when is a good time to buy or sell based on something being overbought or oversold. And that's a huge problem. Now, the thing that would really be beneficial from what I learned from different bank traders is that the banks are always trying to trade with the trend. And you hear this all the time, but the sad reality is most people don't actually do this. So the simple common indicator that you can use in conjunction with the sentiment analysis is moving averages. It's really simple, okay? I'll pull up a picture of moving averages. Most of you guys are probably familiar with moving averages, but basically you're gonna do a slow line and a fast line. So in this case, I have the 9 EMA and I have the 21 EMA, and this is showing the Euro US dollar on the 4-hour chart, okay? The fast EMA is the 9 EMA, which is always going to hug the price closer, and the long EMA is the EMA 21, which is kind of going to give a more rounded idea of what's happening in the market. So when the fast EMA, the 9 EMA, is above the 21 EMA or the slow EMA, that means that's in an uptrend, as you can see happening here. And then you can see the market kind of has been choppy or ranging, right? So a good idea to put these two together is to simply look at where can I find a trend, right? Look for the EMAs that have separated a good amount of space, okay? And it doesn't matter if you use the 9 and the 21 or if you use, the 9 and the 50, you should get a similar idea of what's happening if there's actually a trend forming in the market. So the whole idea behind how the smart money trades is they get behind these long moving trends, and when they do, they continue to rile up their positions, and they're trading against the crowd, okay? They're trading contra crowd. So if you just use these two things in conjunction with whatever Forex strategy that you're actually using, then you're gonna have a massive, massive edge. Again, if you'd like to see this more in depth and hear the real secrets behind a Forex bank trader and how they think, then we wrote this book called Edge Trading Secrets, the Unspoken Laws of a Forex Bank Trader. It's amazing. It's so insightful. I highly recommend you guys read it. You can download it for free on our site, blueedgefinancial.com. And I promise you it's gonna be the best thing that you've ever done for your trading career. So hopefully this was helpful. If this was helpful, would you give us a like? Would you also subscribe to the channel, turn on the post notifications, and also let me know in the comments below, what indicators are you using, and does this make you think differently about your trading? I'd love to hear from you in the comments here below. Okay, with that being said, a couple videos should pop up here where you can see other stuff on our channel that's all made to help create make your trading experience easy, lucrative, and fun.